All right, so welcome to our deep dive today. We're tackling all those side hustles everyone's talking about.
Yeah, trying to separate fact from fiction, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You send us a ton of YouTube videos and articles, so hopefully we can make some sense of it all.
Definitely a lot of information to sift through.
So we're looking for those real opportunities, not just like the hype
Right, the things that people are actually doing successfully, yeah.
and, going through your sources. One thing popped up over and over. Pinterest.
Hmm. Yeah, it seems like everyone's making money on Pinterest these days.
Yeah, so what is it about Pinterest that makes it such a good side hustle platform?
Well, I think the key is that, a lot of people don't realize it's not just social media.
Okay.
It's actually a search engine too, like a visual search engine.
So it's kind of like Google, but for pictures.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So people go there specifically to look for things, solutions, inspiration, all that.
Which means they're more likely to actually
Yeah.
buy something.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not just casually browsing, they're actively searching and they're ready to spend.
Gotcha. So one of the YouTubers you sent us, Sarah Finance, she talks about building a faceless brand on Pinterest.
Yeah, I've heard of that. So you don't even have to show your face, which I guess is appealing to a lot of people.
Right, like if you're not comfortable being on camera,
Exactly.
but you can still build a recognizable brand.
Through your visuals, the content you share, your overall style.
So it's kind of like having a logo or, a signature color palette, but instead of a face, it's your brand's whole vibe.
That's a great way to put it. And actually, that reminds me of the Medium article you sent from Mira Sethi.
Oh yeah, she talks about Pinterest too, right?
She does. And she also stresses that visual branding. She says that consistency is key, whether you're showing your face or not.
That makes sense. People need to be able to recognize your pins.
Exactly.
Okay.
Stand out in the sea of content, make people stop scrolling.
Speaking of standing out, Sarah Finance mentioned that one of her students, they made over $90,000 in their first year on Pinterest.
Whoa. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty motivating.
It definitely shows the potential. But of course, results will vary.
Of course.
It takes work, consistency, all that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, another big decision point that came up in your research, Etsy versus YouTube.
Two very different platforms.
Yeah, so Etsy, it's all about those digital products and crafts.
Right. Low overhead, pretty easy to get started,
Mhm.
especially with the print-on-demand stuff.
Yeah, Sarah Finance talked about that. So like you just design something and then Etsy handles the printing and shipping when someone buys it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to deal with inventory or anything,
Okay, so it's pretty hands-off.
which is good, especially if you're, just starting out.
But are there any downsides to Etsy?
Well, I think the biggest one is the competition. You're constantly fighting for attention.
And you have to keep creating new products.
Yeah. Otherwise, your sales will dry up.
Makes sense. All right, so then there's YouTube, which seems like a whole different world.
Definitely a different beast.
Sarah Finance had a lot to say about YouTube, especially with those short-form videos being so popular now.
Yeah, like those motivational or educational shorts, right?
And even using AI to help create them.
Okay, that's interesting. I haven't really looked into that yet.
So you have a whole video on it.
I'll have to check that out.
But with YouTube, it seems like you really have to put yourself out there, even if you're not showing your face.
Yeah, your voice, your style, your personality really comes through.
And building a following takes time, right? It's not as instant as maybe some people think.
Definitely. It takes consistency, engaging with your audience, all that.
So you've got Etsy with individual sales and YouTube where you can monetize with ads and sponsorships. It's hard to compare, really.
Yeah, they each have their own pros and cons.
But one thing that came up consistently, no matter which platform, the importance of content.
Oh, absolutely. Content is king.
In Sarah Finance, she really emphasized that with her LPM strategy. Learn, post, monetize. It's like a cycle.
Okay, I like that. It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, so you're constantly learning about your niche, posting content, and then figuring out how to monetize it.
And that applies to any platform, really.
Exactly. And speaking of content creation, did you notice how many sources mentioned AI tools?
Oh, yeah, like for writing scripts or even editing videos.
Seems like AI can really streamline things.
It definitely can, but I think it's important to remember that AI should be a tool, not a crutch.
Right. So it's not about letting the robots take over.
No, it's about using AI to enhance your creativity, not replace it.
Okay, so we've talked about Pinterest, Etsy, YouTube. Now I want to shift gears a bit and talk about Airbnb management.
Ah, interesting. That wasn't something I was expecting to see.
Yeah, it popped up in one of Sarah Finance's videos.
Yeah.
Apparently a friend of her mom's does this, and makes good money.
So basically, you're like a property manager for Airbnb listings.
Exactly. You handle communication with guests, the cleaning, all that.
Sounds like you'd need to be really organized and, good with people.
Yeah, definitely. But if you enjoy that kind of thing, it could be a good fit.
And Sarah mentioned that her mom's friend actually scaled this up and hired a team.
So you could potentially turn it into a whole business.
That's cool. I like the idea of a side hustle with growth potential.
But, reading through the WinNet podcast transcript, they had a good reminder about side hustles.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
They were saying that it's important not to view them as get-rich-quick schemes.
Right. That's important to keep in mind.
Yeah. They emphasized patience, consistency, really putting in the work.
And that ties back to the growth mindset that's come up a lot, right?
So you don't get discouraged when things get tough.
You view challenges as opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. So, wow, we've covered a lot already. Pinterest, Etsy, YouTube, even Airbnb management.
I know, it's a lot to process.
And this is just the beginning. We still have so much to dive into, like Mira Sethi's in-depth Pinterest strategies.
I'm excited to hear more about that.
Me too. But for now, what's really standing out to you? What's piquing your interest the most from everything we've talked about so far?
That's a tough one. I think I'm most intrigued by the idea of a faceless brand. It's definitely something I want to learn more about. What about you?
I'm really drawn to that Airbnb management idea. I never thought about it before, but it actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I could see that. It's different for sure.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and dive into Mira Sethi's Pinterest wisdom.
Sounds good to me. So, thinking about all those side hustle ideas, which ones are kind of sticking with you?
I think the faceless brand thing on Pinterest really got me thinking. Like, you can build a whole business without even showing your face. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's definitely appealing to a certain type of person.
Totally. But it also made me wonder, what about side hustles that aren't online? Like, are there still good opportunities out there in the real world?
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of the same principles apply, right? Finding a niche, offering something valuable.
Building relationships. Okay, so let's try to think of some offline side hustle ideas inspired by what we've learned.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So, for example, we talked about Airbnb management, which involves like being organized, handling logistics.
Right.
What about applying those skills to something like home organizing?
Oh, that's a good one. Helping people declutter, get their homes in order.
Exactly. You could even specialize, right? Like helping families with kids' toys or organizing home offices.
Yeah, that makes sense. People are so busy these days, they don't always have time to do that stuff themselves.
Totally. And if you're already good at staging Airbnbs, you could even offer home staging services for people selling their houses.
Oh, that's smart. It's all about seeing a need and filling it.
Okay, here's another one. Building on the service idea. Pet sitting or dog walking.
Yeah, so many people are back in the office now and need someone to watch their pets.
Right. And it seems like something you could easily scale as you get more clients.
You could start with your neighborhood, then expand to other areas.
And you get exercise, fresh air, puppy cuddles. It's win-win.
Definitely. Okay, how about this one? We talked about content creation being so important. What if you're good at photography or videography? You could offer those services to local businesses.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Like everyone needs good photos and videos for their website or social media.
Exactly. And you could even use some of those online strategies to promote your business, like create a Pinterest board to showcase your work.
Right, connect the online and offline worlds.
I like it. Okay, I feel like you're on a roll here.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's circle back to the digital side for a minute. Sarah Finance, she talked a lot about creating those motivational shorts.
Oh, yeah. Those are everywhere these days.
Do you think that's a good strategy to try?
I think it's smart. People's attention spans are so short.
And she even suggested using AI to help create them.
Yeah, I'm still a little unsure about that whole AI thing.
I know, it's kind of a wild west out there.
But it seems like it could be a useful tool if you use it the right way.
Definitely. Okay, another thing she emphasized. Consistency. Like posting multiple videos a day when you're starting out.
Whoa, that seems intense.
It does, right? But she said it really helps you grow your audience faster.
I guess it makes sense. You're putting out more content, reaching more people.
She also mentioned this tool called TubeBuddy. Have you heard of that?
Vaguely. I think it helps you with your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, like keyword research, video optimization, all that.
Okay, so it's like a little helper to make your videos more discoverable.
Exactly. So, okay, let's say we've made some great content and we're starting to build an audience. How do we actually turn that into money?
All right, the big question. Monetization.
Right. Sarah Finance talked about affiliate marketing, selling digital products, brand sponsorships.
Yeah, those seem to be the big ones.
I think affiliate marketing is the most popular. How does that work exactly?
So basically, you recommend products that you like and use, and if someone buys through your special link, you get a commission.
Okay, so you're kind of like a virtual salesperson.
Sort of. But the key is to only recommend things you genuinely believe in.
And that your audience will actually be interested in.
Exactly. It's got to be a good fit.
And Sarah Finance mentioned a bunch of platforms to find affiliate programs. ClickBank, Amazon Associates.
Yeah, those are good ones to start with.
Okay, so affiliate marketing is one way. What about digital products? What kind of things are we talking about?
Basically anything that can be downloaded or accessed online. Ebooks, courses, templates, stock photos.
So you're basically packaging your knowledge or creativity into a product.
Exactly. And the cool thing is once you create it, you can sell it over and over again.
No inventory to worry about.
Exactly. Low overhead, high profit potential.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
What are some good platforms for selling digital products?
Etsy's a good one, especially for printables and craft stuff. Gumroad is popular for ebooks and courses.
And there's Teachable, which is specifically for online courses.
Right. So yeah, there's a platform for pretty much anything you can think of.
Okay, that's good to know. What about brand sponsorships? How do you even get those?
Well, you basically partner with a company to promote their products to your audience.
So it's like getting paid to talk about stuff you already love.
Kind of, yeah. But you need a decent following for that.
Right. Brands want to know that you can reach people.
And that your audience trusts you.
So it's not just about the number of followers, but also how engaged they are.
Exactly. Brands are looking for authentic partnerships, not just someone with a big following who will shill anything.
That makes sense. So how do you actually find brand sponsorships?
Well, sometimes brands reach out to you, especially if you have a good track record.
But you can also be proactive, right?
Yeah, you can reach out to brands you like and pitch them ideas.
And Sarah Finance mentioned some platforms that connect influencers with brands. Aspire, IEEA.
Oh, yeah, those can be helpful.
Okay, so even if you're just starting out, there are ways to get your foot in the door.
Definitely. Just be professional, have a good pitch, and don't give up.
This is all so helpful. I feel like we've covered so much, but there's one more thing I want to talk about before we move on to Mira Sethi's Pinterest guide.
Oh, what's that?
Mindset. Like, it's come up a lot in our discussion, and I think it's really important.
Totally agree. It's the foundation of everything.
So we talked about the growth mindset earlier. Can we dive into that a bit more?
Yeah, for sure. So a growth mindset basically means that you view challenges as opportunities to learn.
So instead of getting discouraged, you see it as a chance to grow.
Exactly. And that's crucial for side hustles because there will be setbacks, there will be obstacles.
Especially when you're trying something new, stepping outside your comfort zone.
Right. But a growth mindset helps you stay motivated and keep going even when things get tough.
And Sarah Finance talked a lot about patience, consistency, being adaptable.
Yeah, those are all essential qualities for any entrepreneur.
Because building a side hustle takes time. Right. It's not going to happen overnight.
Nope. It's a journey, not a sprint.
And sometimes that journey takes unexpected turns.
You got to be able to roll with the punches.
So it sounds like having the right mindset is just as important as having the right strategies.
Absolutely. Your mindset shapes everything, your actions, your results, your whole experience.
Wow, that's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely something to keep in mind.
For sure. Okay. Ready to dive into Mira Sethi's Pinterest wisdom?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of different approaches to side hustles, but now I'm excited to dive into Mira Sethi's take on Pinterest.
Yeah, her article was really in-depth. Lots of good stuff in there.
One thing that really stood out to me was her whole approach of treating Pinterest like a search engine, not just social media.
Right. I think a lot of people miss that. It's not just about pretty pictures.
It's about understanding what people are searching for and creating content that actually provides value, answers their questions.
And that's where the whole SEO thing comes in. She had some great tips on using keywords and hashtags to make your pins more discoverable.
So it's like, speaking Pinterest language, making sure your content shows up in the right searches.
Exactly. It's all about visibility. If people can't find your pins, they can't engage with them.
Right. Makes sense. And she talked about using different pin formats too, right? Like idea pins, carousel pins, infographics.
Yeah, it's good to mix things up, keep it interesting, cater to different learning styles.
And of course, no Pinterest discussion would be complete without talking about affiliate marketing.
It's definitely a popular way to monetize on Pinterest.
And Sethi mentioned that Pinterest actually made it easier to add affiliate links to your pins, which is cool.
Yeah, it streamlines the whole process, makes it more user-friendly for everyone.
And she even provided a list of reputable affiliate programs to explore, like Amazon Associates, Reward Style, Share a Sale.
So you don't have to start from scratch, which is nice.
Definitely. But she also encourages creators to, use Pinterest to promote their own products and services.
Right, so if you have an ebook, a course, even handmade crafts, Pinterest can be a great platform to get those in front of people.
And she suggests using those idea pins to really tell a story, showcase your products in action.
Yeah, make it more engaging than just a static image.
Now, for those who are willing to spend a little money, she talked about Pinterest ads.
Those can definitely be effective if you use them right.
Yeah, she broke down all the different ad formats like promoted pins, story pin ads.
Seems like there's an ad for every goal.
But she stressed that even with ads, the foundation is still good content. You can't just rely on ads alone.
Absolutely. You have to give people a reason to click, to follow you, to buy from you.
So it all comes back to value, right? Creating something that people genuinely find helpful or entertaining.
And once you've built that foundation, then you can start exploring those brand sponsorships too.
She talked about using your Pinterest analytics to show brands your reach, your engagement.
Yeah, proof that you can actually deliver results.
And she encouraged creators to be proactive, reach out to brands they love, and pitch them ideas.
So it's not just about waiting for opportunities to come to you. You have to go out there and make things happen.
And here's a piece of advice that I thought was really smart. She said to create a blog or website and use Pinterest to drive traffic to it.
Oh, that's a great idea. It's like building your own little corner of the internet.
Exactly. So you're not just relying on Pinterest alone. You have a platform to share more in-depth content, maybe even sell your own products.
And you have more control over your brand, your messaging.
And finally, she even suggested offering Pinterest management services as a side hustle itself.
Yeah, if you're good at Pinterest, why not help others succeed too, right?
It's like turning your passion into a business.
So yeah, Mira Sethi's article was jam-packed with useful information. Lots to think about.
I know. It's amazing how much potential there is with Pinterest.
Definitely. It's more than just a place to pin recipes and DIY projects.
It's a powerful platform for building a business, a brand, a community.
And that's really what this whole deep dive has been about, right?
Right.
Exploring all those possibilities, finding what resonates with you.
Exactly. We've covered so much ground, from Pinterest to YouTube to even those offline side hustles.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
Yeah.
And the biggest takeaway for me is that, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to side hustles.
It's all about finding what works for you, your skills, your interests, your lifestyle.
And having the right mindset, being patient, persistent, and adaptable.
Because it's not always going to be easy.
But it can be incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. So to our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked some ideas, some inspiration.
Maybe you've discovered a new side hustle you want to try, or maybe you've gained a fresh perspective on one you're already working on.
Whatever it is, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, keep growing.
Because the world of side hustles is vast and ever-evolving, and there's something out there for everyone.
So go out there and make it happen.